Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the fifth floor, and you tuned in to Forgotten Kings TV.
Uh-oh. Moments ago, comedian Ari Spears goes off on Erika Kirk, apparently sending a cease and desist to Druski over his latest viral skit, How Conservative Women in America Act. Okay, apparently Erika Kirk feels like this is a personal attack, and she made a post, and as you can see here, she said, listen, if I did blackface as a part of a skit, I'd be canceled and called a racist. Okay, of course, a lot of people upset, mainly Trump supporters on social media right now. And Druski, he made a post saying, Erika Kirk sent a cease and desist trying to sue me over a skit. Little does she know, parody is protected. It's comedy, not defamation. Y'all gotta stop trying to take jokes to court. All right, now, like I said, a lot of people on social media are upset, mainly Trump supporters. Now, of course, moments ago, Ari Spears, he called out Erika Kirk in her outrage over Druski's latest viral skit. All right, and in Ari's post, he says, it's amazing how white people still don't get why this is not the same. Erika, white people in blackface have always been based in deep-seated racism. There's an evil history there. Black people in whiteface have never been based on bigotry. Why do some white people want so badly to act like they've ever been dehumanized on the same level as us? It's ridiculous. Druski, keep doing you, bro. All right, now again, that was comedian Ari Spears going off on Charlie Kirk's wife, Erika Kirk, and her outrage over Druski's latest viral skit. Okay, like I said, a lot of impressions on Twitter with the post, over 124 million impressions to be exact. Listen, if you haven't seen the skit, I'll make sure to leave the link in the description. But, you know, as far as this outrage we're seeing on social media, specifically by Trump supporters, listen, you know, they got so upset, they brought Charlie Kirk into the whole equation, right? As if this skit somehow disrespects him, you know, implying that, you know, if white people done blackface, right, they will be canceled. I mean, come on, this has happened already in Hollywood. Now, when it comes to Druski and his brand of comedy, like I said, he's done this several times, right? And as far as I'm concerned, you know what I mean, he does this to everybody. It's not just white folk. You know, this is his brand of comedy. Now, when we talk about the outrage on social media, specifically Twitter, come on, man, miss us with this. These are the type of posts we see on the regular. Look at this. George Floyd deserved it. What the hell does George Floyd have to do with this? Okay, this goes to show this type of behavior always existed, specifically on social media when it comes to Twitter, and their accounts will still be up and active. You know what I mean? No one flags it. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, you know, it's as if they allow this type of energy on social media. Now these folks are upset. Clearly, they don't know about America in one of his first films titled The Birth of a Nation. Let's educate those who may not know about America in one of his first films and what was depicted in this movie, right? A very controversial film, right? Made a lot of money, but essentially this film was white folks in blackface. I mean, come on. Y'all didn't know? That's how you know this is essentially fake outrage altogether, because again, one of the biggest box office hits, right? Very controversial film, right? A film that portrayed black characters as unintelligent, okay? Many of the actors in this film were white in blackface, portraying black people as unintelligent and sexually aggressive towards white women. I had to just state that so y'all can understand this is something that's been going on since the early 1900s, okay? Portraying white supremacist hate group as heroic force protecting white women. I mean, again, this movie was a commercial success across the nation, grossing far more than any previous motion picture, okay? What are we talking about here, all right? One of the first films ever. So listen, man, when it comes to this, you know, so-called outrage that exists on social media, a lot of these individuals need to do their homework before they make themselves look like the fool they look like right now, okay? Because I'm sure some people will be triggered in the comment section below. But like I said, man, it's a lot of history, right? That comes to, you know, our people and what we had to fight to get to this moment in 2026. And when it comes to Hollywood and how they always depicted us a certain way, right? Our elders, right? Some of our early actors, you know, they had to go through a lot of disrespect. to get us to this point where people can express themselves freely without, risking their careers or livelihood. And I'm going to leave y'all with a skit. Hopefully, it doesn't get flagged for copyright. But it was from a show, shout out to Robert Townsend, Parenthood, where they spoke about, some of our early actors, black actors in Hollywood and what they had to go through during that time, and it's unfortunate. But this is why you have to know your history and understand that, the struggle continues, right, when it comes to our fight as black people in America. And it's just funny that we live in a world today where we constantly see these, contradictions from those who, always inflicting this BS against us, you know what I mean? And then trying to play victim after years and years of doing this shit and still doing it to our people. So, here we got Druski, someone who's, a comedian right now. With him and his brand, he's doing a lot. This is what he does. And for the most part, there are those who appreciate his brand of comedy, but clearly, individuals like Erika Kirk and Trump supporters, they're triggered, somehow not seeing their own hypocrisy, through the skit. Because listen, it's based on real life events. You know what I mean? You want people to view you better, then the behavior has to change. And clearly, it's not enough. You see the attempts of, people removing black history, which is American history. It's a part of the culture. And like I said, knowing the history, come on, the birth of a nation, white folks depicting black people a certain way. This is still going on to this day. This is why the rap game is the way that it is. There used to be a fight within the culture in Hollywood, right? The music business. But now a lot has changed. A lot has changed. And right now we're getting a lot of watered down material. So that's why it's important to know the history. But y'all let me know. What are your thoughts on the controversy involving Erika Kirk and, apparently sending cease and desist to Druski over this joke? Like I said, this is, pretty much his brand of comedy when it comes to Druski. But let me know, do you agree with the outrage or do you wholeheartedly disagree? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Again, my name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace.
See, the black man has to be proud, Nick. Remember, you come from a nation of kings and queens.
Why do you like Buckwheat so much?
Because he's funny. He makes me laugh. Why does everybody hate him?
We don't hate him, we just hate what he represents.
What's wrong with that?
Well, in Buckwheat's time, that was the only image you saw of a black person. A stereotype is when you believe that a whole group of people behave a certain way. In Buckwheat's time, the stereotype was that all black people were lazy and ignorant.
That's not true.
I know it's not, but those were the only roles black actors were allowed to play.
I remember with the little rascal, and it was so tiny. But in real life, I was an actor named William Thomas Jr. Some people say I set a bad example, but that's how a black person had to act. If you wanted to get a job in the movies, there were great actors like Hattie McDaniel, Lincoln Perry, and Willie Best, who always had to play the same roles. Butterfly McQueen got so tired of playing stereotypes, she stopped acting. We had a run, but I hope we made it easier for all the black actors who came after us. Thank you.
This episode is dedicated to Lincoln Perry, Hattie McDaniel, Willie Best, Butterfly McQueen, William Thomas Jr., and all the other black actors whose talent and genius were never fully acknowledged and appreciated. They paved the way for all of us.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, hit that notification bell to get the latest on hip-hop, sports, comedy, whatever. All right, we got you covered over here at Forgotten Kings TV. And also, click on one of these videos, okay? All right, y'all. Peace.